All right, so there is a Muslim candidate running for office somewhere, and I don't remember exactly what city it's in. I apologize for that. However, he's running for a Republican office.
And that works out.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear the kind of question that he's been given and how he responds to it. So let me just let it play for here real quick.
Giovanna, your turn, and your question is to Muhammad Ali Bouyan.
Welcome, Mr. Bouyan. You're proud of potentially becoming the first Republican Muslim congressman in Georgia.
Okay,
Yet
Georgia.
some people are frankly uncomfortable with the notion of a Muslim in office.
What? Whoa!
Yeah.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Already off to a bad start, and you won't believe that.
This is where heathens come out. They're like, people are uncomfortable with a Muslim, and we're like, no, it's all the same to us. Jesus fucking Christ. It's all the same.
Like, no,
us.
Muslims are just part 3 of the trilogy, guys.
Yeah, no, we don't like Islam. We're not fans, but it's all the same. It's like if a Muslim runs
is
as
equivalent
a Democrat,
to Jew and is equivalent to to Christian.
A Muslim runs as a Democrat, and it's like most of their policies are fine. I'm like, sure, I'll support them. Yeah,
as a young man being brought up in the Baptist church, like when I finally realized that all of like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all followed the same fucking Abrahamic God. You know how much of a fucking revelation that was? How much of a mind-splitting moment that was for me? I'm like, wait a minute. I thought Jews didn't believe in this, and I thought that Muslims believe this and stuff. And like,
yeah, it's all the same.
Fuck.
It's all the same. It's all the same one. It's all the same one. They just had feelings differently.
And it all ties to their fucking God telling the one dude to strap his kid to a rock and demanding that he kill him. It's like,
and feelings are fine, guys. In interpersonal relationships, feelings are fine. Here's what we don't do: we don't make feelings laws.
And we definitely don't ask political candidates about feelings.
Exactly. Yeah, feelings don't fucking matter. But these motherfuckers are like, you're a Muslim. What the shit? Fuck does that matter?
Just wait.
It doesn't matter to me.
I'm gonna let it play a little bit more. Wait. Yep.
You said that the courts have spoken regarding President Trump's executive orders regarding immigration. But do you believe that President Trump's orders represent a quote-unquote Muslim ban? Have you used the term radical Islam?
Because that's so goddamn important.
It's a non-thing. It's a non-thing. Our friends over at the Godless Revolution once said that they supported the use of the term radical Islam. There's a reason we don't use that word, and that's because it can isolate members of our own community who are not radical and make them feel as outsiders. I understand, guys. I just went on a thing about feelings. That's where it comes back to interpersonal relationships.
Well, I mean, how would any of us feel being called radical atheist extremists or something like that? It's like...
Right. It creates an outsider. It creates an outsider of an individual in large swaths.
Instead of, there are extremists within every group, religious or non-religious. But when you bring it back to, when you bring up the main basic post of it, like, oh, they're an extremist within this group, it's like, no, they're an extremist no matter how you fucking slice it,
It's a useless term is what it comes down to. It's useless. It's a useless thing to say radical Islam. You know what? Yeah, and Islam right now is going through a thing, and there's a larger amount of them that are feeling extreme about it, and there's a lot of geopolitical and global warming implications that create those situations.
Or, if we just stayed the fuck out of the Middle East, maybe they might have sorted some shit out by now.
Yeah. But to sit there and say radical Islam is an oversimplification that is absolutely and entirely useless.
Yeah.
Useless. It's useless to say that.
Oh, and her question gets worse. Here we go.
And where have you publicly denounced terror attacks committed by Muslims?
Yeah. She expects him to be the representative for all of Islam because he's Muslim. Yeah, let me ask, when was the last time you Christians apologized for those guys that, shoot abortion doctors? Or how about the most recent attack in San Bernardino, where the guy went into the school and shot the lady and himself? And like, are we going to ask you guys to apologize for that because he was a radical Christian extremist? I mean,
Right?
by your guys' own admission, this is what they should be doing.
I complained earlier about the Christian woo-woo, and she defined atheism for me.
Oh, yay.
She defined. And like, how pissed do we get when you're like, oh, this is what atheists think, and it's like, no.
Hashtag not all atheists.
Because we don't have dogma. Like, that's how Muslims feel. Oh, and especially Jews, because like, turns out there's schools of thought within it. And it doesn't make any sense to be like, all Muslims think this one way. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense.
So the guy does respond with an amazing way of trying to smooth this all out. Here we go.
Well, it's a very interesting race. As you pointed out, I'm a Muslim candidate. Mr. John Ossoff, he's a Orthodox Jewish candidate. We got Baptist, we got all kinds of religion. None of the other religions are mentioned, but I get this question all the time. I lived there for 30 years. I've been vetted multiple times. When I became resident, citizen, global card, entry card. The question, I denounce any forms of violence or extremism anywhere in the world, whether it's here, anywhere, by anybody, not just one religion, any religion.
That's a good save. Especially with an unfair fucking question like that.
So the point that everybody should understand that my wife and I, we lived there for 30 years. We are a model citizen, and almost every religion, every citizens are model. There are few bad apples. When Oklahoma bombing took place, Timothy McVeigh, that did not make every Christian terrorist. Similarly, few Muslim bad apples does not make all Muslim terrorists. So that's the point everybody needs to understand, that this is how everybody should be treated.
And that's when he lost the election.
Oh, that accent lost him the election.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And no, he was a Democrat. That could have won him an election. Because us Democrats are suckers for foreigners. Like, let's be honest.
Like, look, if the Republican Party would ditch the God stuff and ditch a lot of the, we're thinking like we're in the 18th fucking century, like
white
stuff
supremacy
that they've adopted, they might be a more attractive like platform to be on, but they're not, because
I would certainly be more centrist if the Republican Party wasn't so gaudy and so white.
Yeah, and so like, fuck progress, like, no, you shouldn't be against progress. That makes you the Taliban.
I thought that's what our country was about, was the progressive nation, like new form of government combining ideas from the past to create a better union.
We're too fucking idealistic there, Felicia. That just doesn't work that way.